Hello and welcome to the second episode of Homework, and as Sunita so accurately sang, the theme for this episode is so macho. This week I'm joined with Gareth Wild, aka the disembodied voice from the previous episode of Homework, and Johnny Chiodini off of that Gamespot.
Hello.
Say hello, Johnny.
Hello.
Cool. So, thank you very much for the viewer feedback. We got tons.
It was pretty impressive, wasn't it?
Yeah, like we thought YouTube was broken because at no point did anyone put lol gay. There were dozens of really, really pleasant
There were lots of points where they could have put that.
Yeah, there were so many opportunities that they could have done that. And no, we were astonished. We really, really appreciate everything you said, and you seem to have got on board with the idea and started contributing ideas for this, so thank you very much, and keep it up. I also put a poll up on Facebook regarding the sock controversy. Some people...
We're all going sock crazy
socks,
here.
Except for Johnny.
Would you like me to bear my
He's
socks?
a foot prude. Yeah, take your shoes
Okay,
off.
fine.
Yeah, we put it to the vote, and it was astonishing. More people want to see socks than they do want to see shoes and bare feet, which frankly I put in as a joke answer and was terrified it was actually going to win.
Oh.
Yeah, if you wanted to see our hairy feet just lying in a row.
It was quite well coordinated with your jeans. I mean, they don't clash that badly. Mine actually match.
It's almost like...
I made a special effort.
What, that one's inside out?
Matching. What? Yeah. A special effort, not a superhuman effort. I made some effort.
Right, so for this one we got quite a lot of suggestions actually. So I thought I'd give some honourable mentions. Stacey Knowles suggested the Spectrum Classic Barbarian for the game. Do you remember that one with Wolf and I think it was Linda Lusardi on the front cover?
I do remember that. Yeah.
You could decapitate people and a little control would kind of kick your head off the screen. Tom Bryan suggested a bare knuckle fight to the death as our challenge, followed by a vote to see who won.
So the winner doesn't win.
Yeah. So even if you've been killed, you could still earn posthumous victory if the...
Seems like a bum deal, but okay.
Idiot. Craig...
Oh, you're
not
not
really
start abusing people.
Sorry, Tom, you're not really. No. Craig Bedford and Jamie Golding reckoned we should watch the brilliant Black Dynamite.
Yes.
We should.
We should have.
Yeah. We'll try and wear that into a future episode because that movie is phenomenal. And finally, Christopher Medcalf wanted us to watch Top Gun, stating that homoeroticism is clearly Dan's strong point.
Yes!
Which is... Shut up, Ash. Which is clearly utter rubbish. So, on that note, let's go to our game, Muscle March. So, I have a question for both of you.
Go
on. It is... Shoru Muscle!
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Okay, Muscle March was suggested by Ben Borthwick, aka The Bee, on Twitter. And this guy has been an avid supporter for us since we announced... Well, since the Inside Xbox.
The Bee's fantastic.
Yeah.
He's been really solid for us.
He created a poster for the Mantler
Can we show that?
movie. Yeah, I'm sure...
The link will be right here.
Why don't you just put the picture up, Ash?
The picture is right here.
Thanks, Ash. That's it live. So, I'm going to leave it to Johnny to explain the premise of Muscle March.
Well, as he so brilliantly put it, it's about the most homoerotic thing I've ever seen. Effectively, God and his 10-kilogram gavel have charged you with being very muscly and hot, but there are agents of darkness, some of them strange piggybacking monkeys.
Rabbit men.
Yeah, rabbit men, and there are weird like anthropomorphic turtle things that want to steal your protein shake. And as we all know, a protein shake is an essential part of...
Well, do you know, it
becoming
is
a muscle
expensive
brat
though, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had a giant thing of protein, I'd want to protect it, certainly. So.
Would you be willing to smash through walls in a variety of macho poses in order to recover said protein?
Naturally. Only like a maximum of 4 though. No more than 4. If we're talking 5, I'm out. He can have my protein.
So that fifth pose would have pushed you over the edge.
Oh, totally.
Well, that's just
Absolutely.
really fortunate because Muscle March only features 4 muscly poses, which Gareth will now demonstrate. Very good.
Pretty much it, yeah.
It was that. I felt like I failed on one of them.
So, with Muscle March, basically, it's you and your muscly friends chasing people through city streets, village streets, and ultimately in space. Because
Naturally.
protein is just in 0 gravity.
Becoming Mr. Universe?
You can come back.
Better.
You can come back. And it's on WiiWare, and it just begs the question: who went to the CEO or whoever commissions games for Namco Bandai? Went,
Got an idea.
hold everything. you know we've got Pac-Man, we've got Tekken. I've got it. This is it. This is the one. This is the one that's going to take Namco to the next level. We're going to be the new Activision. This is Call of Duty.
And a
I'd
room
love to-
full of people went, yes.
Yes. And he probably went to the CEO and, just had a bunch of very homoerotic sketches. Apparently it's originally an arcade game that used 2 sticks, which frankly would have been far more accurate than this really shaky Wiimote
Yeah.
accelerometer-based thing, which just completely exposes quite how rubbish.
How well do you think it's ported? Yeah, because I mean, I was doing that,
Yeah.
and he was up here.
You went,
It's like he gets the jitters before he reaches each wall. He's like, I'm not sure which one to do, and then he finally realises which one you're actually
settles
trying to
on
pull.
the dream pose.
Yeah.
Chris Hard,
That is convenient.
which is a really convenient
With a
name,
vengeance.
is Evil Moomin, also known as Evil Moomin, says that Muscle March is the best £3.50 I ever spent. I was going to go on holiday to Japan, but I've now experienced it while chasing a polar bear in a thong, so why bother now?
Well, indeed.
Why bother?
Japan has lost all meaning to me since I played Muscle March.
I paid a lot more than that to chase a polar bear in a thong through Japan.
You got jacked, man. There are half-price ticket kiosks all around town.
Around London. Oh man. So, I mean, what more is there to say about Muscle March?
It's quite a two-dimensional game, isn't it? There's beyond the running and the posing and of course the takedowns.
Oh yes, you have to.
Yeah.
You-
I mean, beyond the
Flip
whole
out.
Kind of a
wrestling
glorious climax to the.
with a pylon of about 4 or 5 dudes. So,
who
Is
are
that-
obviously all quite sweaty from being, from running around,
naturally.
dressed in thongs, just all stacked up on top of each other. And I think just for the sake of decency, he just cuts away at that point.
Yeah.
You're just left to imagine
Yeah.
the rest of the sweaty, muscly.
I've done a lot of imagining. A lot of imagining at that point.
Oh, was that your slash fiction? Oh.
Interesting.
So, yeah, there we have it. Muscle March.
it is one of
So
those
there was
games.
Muscle March. If you didn't play it, you should, just to experience it. I think, why not? It's not that often that you get to chase aliens through a woodland environment.
Or polar bears for a space environment.
Exactly. And all the while making sure that precious protein is back where it belongs. Before I move on to our film, which is the story of Ricky, I should bring up that Johnny, in what I hope is going to be a trend for all other guests we have in the series, you have been warned, has brought us a gift of game-themed mints. Spam, not...
It was a limited
There was a
selection.
Monty Python game that had spam in it, so
Really?
I'm gonna count that on a technicality.
Oh,
But yes,
brilliant.
I've got the wonderful... I say Hylian, other people say Hylian.
I'd say Hylian.
Would you say Hylian because of Hyrule?
Yeah.
Okay. Hylian Shield, which
You can
is
say
awesome.
Hylian. You want your mints now.
They are my mints, they're my Hylian mints. Before that, okay, story of Ricky. This was suggested by, Christ, I better get this right, Jake Betancourt-Laverde,
Good name.
who probably tweeted this from his mansion in the Dordogne or something.
Or shooting poor people.
Shooting money. Out of a gun made of money.
His money gun just rolls up €20 notes, just fires them at the
Fetch
at
the bullion
at
cannon.
the helm. Oh, poor Jake. This is what you
It's
get.
a good suggestion.
This is what
Yeah,
you get.
great
Yeah,
suggestion,
great
yeah.
suggestion. But stop shooting poor people with your money gun. It's just not fair. Difficult economic circumstances. Right. This is a great recommendation. Although bizarrely, if you watch this film, if you watch this film, you think this film is absolutely unforgettable. How could you ever forget the story of Ricky? It was only when I turned it on, about 45 minutes into it, I was like, I've actually seen this before. So the story of Ricky is about an incredibly strong, supernaturally strong, I think he's described as a guy called Ricky, who is incarcerated for manslaughter in one of the franchise prisons in space year 2001.
But wait, it's a privatised. Yeah, we're going privatised here because they predicted that in, was it 1991 when this was made?
Yeah, so
prisons weren't privatised back then.
So this is actually a very prescient satire.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I was going to
where people try to strangle each other with their long intestines.
I was going to look up the statistics about the American prison system where they've got this whole sort of workforce and try and sound intellectual at this point, but instead, let's move on with the punching people's jaws off.
It stars a guy called, I think his name is Louis Fan, who looks fantastic in a blazer. In a school outfit with his kind of
the one shot before we get on to preppy Ricky. There's one shot he's in the prison cell and he takes his robe off slowly and sort of flexes his back and he looks comic book muscular. He's huge,
like Muscle March.
He could be a bonus character in Muscle March.
He's a Goliath.
I think he's a Goliath, but I think in reality he's about 5'5", and that's not stereotyping. I think he's actually quite wee.
Okay.
But he's built like a brick shithouse, isn't he?
A shit brick house.
A shit brick house. And yeah, he's been shot 5 times in the chest and keeps them as souvenirs.
Like 50 Cent.
And the other thing I noticed about Ricky is that once he's kind of in the prison, we don't see any kind of shots of him establishing relationships with any of the other prisoners. We just see that he fights for good.
Yep.
And gets very emotionally attached to people he's never previously met.
Like the old guy who kills himself?
Yes, Omar, I think his name is. Which I'm guessing wasn't the original name.
Yeah.
Poor Omar gets his face planed off. And then Ricky trips his assailant into a nail board. But Omar is overjoyed to hear that his probation's coming up, but the corrupt warden cancels his probation and he hangs himself.
The moment before that he trips him up and slams him, they're just talking about, hey boss, you forgot to brush your teeth, and I don't know why this is like sort of bad guy attitude. Was like, I don't need to brush my teeth, and then right at that moment, slam face palm into nail and wood, and I mean you wouldn't be coming back from that, would you? And yet there he is in the next scene, all bandaged up.
Drinking his milk.
Why does he always pick on me?
I'm still not.
He's got a brilliant line as well. The dubbing. Because I watched the dub version. You watched the subtitle version.
Yeah.
The dub version's a treat.
Yeah.
Which features the line,
"Talk back to me over a towel."
Which is his opening line when he tries to plane off Omar's face. It's the film. I mean, apart from being a series of the most outrageously gory shit you've ever seen in your life. It's also got these really badly placed kind of moments of, I suppose, emotion where, like, I think it's when Omar dies, Ricky decides to punch the rain. It's like one of those fight dancing scenes from an 80s movie when it's just...
It's very Kevin Bacon, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very Kevin Bacon. It's like fighting the rain.
It's a bit better with its moments of levity, like when in the fight in the prison yard where like Oscar he's like, you're still gonna die because you can't use your right arm, and then he waits for him patiently while he ties his tendons back together with his teeth.
Yes.
But then when he slaps
ties
himself
his
over,
own arm back with his tendons.
and then like nearly gets strangled by an old man's intestines. And when he's trying to do this after like what looks like he's going to commit seppuku, and he's like, I'm going to choke you with my guts. One of the dudes watching just goes, "You've got a lot of guts, Oscar," and like you almost expect some dude to like hop on with a trombone and go, because it's that good.
Louise Nash on Facebook completely agrees with you. She said the story of Ricky was funny, but in a kind of craptastic way, and her favourite bit was the Oscar, "You got a lot of guts," made me XD. Which I think is... Is that the emoticon for that?
Yeah, I cocked my head quizzically at that and then saw on there.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
There's a few other bits from our viewers. What we got? John Dowds. It has terrible acting, terrible story, terrible effects, and then the most ridiculously long ellipses I've ever seen in my life. I loved it. I even think it's one of my favourite movies of all time. Romeo Must Die may have taken inspiration from the X-ray special effect they used in it. This bit when he gets punched in the face at turn, it cuts to an X-ray. It's quite impressive.
It's also used heavily in Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
I think was it the first of its kind which did this?
I'd say 91. I don't know if
91's pretty
anyone
early.
if anyone out there knows any differently. If you can name me a film where someone gets smacked in the face and it cuts to an X-ray of it, but for all we know, this may be the very first example of it in cinematic history. Our last viewer comment comes from Adam Jolliffe, aka Bite the Curb.
He's been very active on the Twitters as well.
He has. Changed the name though. Just makes me think of American History X, and that's not nice. That's unpleasant. He said, finished watching the story of Ricky. What an epic struggle of gore and love. But why did Ricky's missus throw herself off the roof?
She was panicked. She thought worse would happen to her.
Very poor spatial awareness.
She just...
Totally dyspraxic. Wanted some air.
I'm sure we'll show a clip of this, but there is a part where it's explaining kind of Ricky's struggle, how he went from a smiling, preppy, remote helicopter flying poet. In the next minute, it's this revelation that Ricky has become this complete badass because his girlfriend was she kidnapped originally?
Well, she saw a drug deal going down, didn't
That's
she?
it.
And they don't take kindly to witnesses.
No.
But the boss seemed fine with it. He was like, "Oh, just get rid of her." But
He's clearly scared.
Nah.
Scared enough to run off a roof.
Yeah, off the roof.
pretty terrified.
And not only run off the roof, but in the process transform into a really unconvincing mannequin. Would you say effects generally are the strong point?
Well, there was a comment earlier saying that the effects were terrible, and I disagree because like obviously you see the mannequins and you see like the face and the hand go into the nails, and it's like yeah that does look rubbish. It's clearly not a real person's face, but at the same time like they still had to engineer it, and it looks better than CGI because it's like well it's not animatronic, but it's a model so that when it gets cut, it's actually getting cut and it's actually bleeding, and it just looks more real. So like when I was recapping and watching like the goriest bits before I turned up here, I actually felt physically sick. Like with the whole the tendons bit, like that wasn't bad, and like the whole like I'm gonna slash myself open thing. It's good enough to promote like a response from people.
To invoke nausea.
There are a couple of moments though where you genuinely didn't expect Ricky to be hurt because I thought he's a Superman, no pain. But he had took an arrow to his chest. He was sliced there or there. There were moments where I wasn't expecting. I think that's what caught me off guard.
This is a man that can punch tombstones
Yeah.
and dive through metal doors as if they were made of paper. And then, the next minute, an ordinary knife is capable of slashing his arm open. He's a very inconsistent, supernaturally powerful muscle man. And what I love is at the end, like in most of these films, the bad guy's usually quite weak and has all the strong tension. There's usually kind of an anticlimactic. Oh, you're all just going to punch you in the face now. You'll be done with.
Not in this. No,
Not
sir.
in this. No. For reasons completely unknown, he mutates into.
He totally holds out.
He totally holds out. This becomes the second most unconvincing special effects in the entire movie, which is this hulking, rubbery, clown-haired freak who Ricky dispatches by putting into a meat grinder.
Yeah.
And just working him down to the neck.
It's a weird Volta that bit though, because he's basically getting his ass kicked, and the dude just like he brags a bit, and it's hubris obviously that brings every giant hulked out enemy down. But Ricky then just thinks hard against soft, soft against hard, and just like has this divine inspiration which says do a forward roll and punch him in the knee, and then the dude's like oh what's happening, and he totally annihilates him. He like punches into his chest, punches through him like more than once, and it like. I didn't really get the significance of
because
that.
he said, wasn't it? Think smart, Ricky. Fight with intelligence.
There's that bit of like,
and rather than intelligence, he thinks fight harder, punch harder.
Stick it in the meat grinder.
Yeah, intelligent fighting.
Attack the joints.
It wasn't exactly Dark Knight, was it? Fight smarter. So he throws some mud in the eye and then cuts just above.
No, I heard Christopher
blood
Nolan was deeply influenced. By the story.
I was talking like the books where he's fighting the mutant leader. I won't fight hard. I'll fight smart.
Dirty.
No, I'll just punch him in the knee.
Take him in the knee. Yeah. Anyway, apparently there's an unofficial sequel as well, which is called Super Powerful Man. Also available on You Don't Laugh. So it's a sensible title. Same actor. Even worse, and from what I can tell, less gory. But, as I said before, he's in the Ip Man. I think I said before, he's in the Ip Man movies, Donnie Yen's movies, about the guy who actually taught Bruce Lee martial arts. and they're both actually really, really good, and he plays a key role in both those movies. So he has actually gone to bigger and better things, and got a haircut. Okay, it's challenge time now. This one came through from Louise Nash, who also had a comment about Story of Ricky, so she's been very active this week. She said that she'd like to see us fight it out on one of those old arcade boxing machines to see who can throw the hardest punch. She's even established some rules. No cheating and running up and throwing your punches, because who runs and throws a punch? Gareth.
Hey, whoa, I did no running. No running.
Certainly has a momentum behind you.
That's a rugby tackle style punch.
Yes. So it turns out that our local arcade, which is, I think, is it Las Vegas on Wardour Street?
Is it Vegas or Las Vegas?
Yeah. They just had the latest version of Sonic Blastman Real Puncher installed. Now this was a game I used to play quite a lot when I went to arcade games, mainly because it had a camera built into it, and you could take a picture of your friend's face and then punch it until it distorted.
That's sociopathic in the extreme. I like it.
Because I have to warn you that Vegas on Wardour Street also... Stop it. Vegas on Wardour Street happens to be quite sensitive about filming.
Yeah.
So we had to be very quiet. So Ash kind of wandered in with a camera around his chest and just filmed what he could. So apologies if it's all a bit shaky, but we present to you now our exploits in punching.
Right, Johnny Chiodini is the one who's going to do this. He's there.
I don't know that I am.
He's limber. No pressure.
Yes!
Damn.
Wow. That's better. Oh, we've only got to get 124 and then that's fun to take it out. It'll be 149. Destroy.
Oh no! Oh no.
Yay, I'm not the weakest. Thanks a lot, martial arts.
He could be the one.
Watch this. No, don't go there because I'm going to scuff it.
No, we're just going to completely...
This will be more powerful than Johnny's 3.
Oh! What? I'm standing back.
I'm really going to get that. I've got to be that top. Go on.
Jesus.
Oh!
No.
What's that? Losing.
Punching out a T-Rex. Punching out the T-Rex.
Take this, science. You ready?
Yes. Oh, is it? No. Maybe.
I'm so weak.
Oh my god.
Yeah!
Getting close.
So, as you saw from that, Johnny, weakling, me, weakling, Gareth, oh, he's strong, oh, he big man.
Sloppy technique.
No, I like to throw myself at things.
Sloppy technique. So this is the bit where we justify our guests' time by allowing them to promote something they're up to. So Johnny, what would you like to promote?
That was a really lovely link. It made it seem like I had better things to do,
Oh.
which is not true. But my choice of pimping thing is actually quite a convenient crossover, because on Wednesdays now we do a live stream thing where we drink beer, much like this. We play games with the community and we do it all live on Twitch TV. And our next guest is you, I believe.
Wow, what an incredible lineup.
I know, it's brilliant. So Wednesday...
I'm looking forward to it, actually. I'm looking forward to being in a proper studio with people who actually know what they're doing, and you know,
I mean,
just seeing how the professionals do it.
You might leave regretting it, but you know, there will at least be beer.
Do I get a clue of what the game is?
Oh, we're probably going to play some first-person shooter of some kind with the Gamespot community and do the shooting mans. Basically, we don't really talk about the games at all, we just talk.
I can't wait to be teabagged into oblivion by the GameSpot readers and viewers. So, yeah, look out for it.
Yeah.
I'll be there. I'll be
drunk.
Yes, hopefully. It'll be on Twitch TV, and if you don't catch it live, you can watch it on backup, and there'll be a link.
Shall we bring up a URL in time-honoured tradition?
Let's do a URL here. Can you make it look like I'm dropping pixie dust?
No.
Right, next week's theme is...
It's Rhythm.
Rhythm.
It's rhythm.
Serious as cancer.
Rhythm is a dancer.
Indeed it is. If you do want to contribute or you just want to chat and catch up with us, you can follow us on Twitter at explosive_Alan. Apologies for the underscore, but some random guy just stole it from us. And also on Facebook at facebook.com/explosive Alan Productions. Again, it's called Explosive Alan Productions because the same guy, Explosive Alan, nicked Explosive Alan and set that into URL. So you've got him to blame. So if you want to join us in punching various body parts off him when we do locate him, feel free to join us. And that's it for this episode. Thanks to Johnny for joining us.
My pleasure.
Thanks to Gareth for
Turning up.
It's really good of you. Thanks. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back soon with another episode. Right, well, that's all I've got to say. Have you got anything to say?
No.
Have you got anything to say?
No.